Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We got you.
SK online. I see that we have one student online. We also have some students here. So I'll be talking to you online and I'll be talking to students here. If you have any questions, I cannot see you up here. I'm not sure what Zoom's doing, but I can't see you. So just unmute or type in chat if you have a question and I will try to get to it and answer it. My name's Desiray Emerton. If you haven't logged in before, I teach the Mvskoke language. I'm a second learner, so I did not grow up learning the language or hearing a lot of the language. I'm trying to teach it from a perspective of those of us who haven't learned or heard it very often. We have done module 1 and this is module 2, the end of module 2, but all of this stuff is on Google Drive, and if you don't have it, I can post it for you, but you will have access to module 1 as well and to module 2. This will be recorded, so just jump in if you like I said, you want to say something, unmute, we'll stop and we'll get your question or just type in the chat. All right. All right. So those of you, I know there's some people who were talking about wanting to know the Lord's Prayer. And I tried to play it in class, and for some reason it wasn't working. But this is also on the Google Drive and one of the documents that have some prayers there for you guys to listen to and everything. You can hear the speaker speaking. Also, what I wanted to tell you about the Lord's Prayer is it does not go word for word for word, but you will see what Mvhayv is saying. So there's, in a lot of different languages, there's not correct translations. All right.
Boski halwi legitskat. Chihujivka ajagigas. Chimugmikidet alagigas. Meima halwi nagi gomitski nomad. Ida moment yama igana okmumigas. Nitta athaka tarlegen mujanitta pomis. Moment pomahwila isponwegas. Ahuitlegiad isim wegagiad ida bomen. Nagi ponayut kibeji dayi iskitlidan. Sibo hahitskas. Momes holwagat esibos sejas. Ogmikidet yikchidet. Momen thakidet chinagi imungat omega. Amen.
You see how it translates to Mvskoke. It's not direct, word for word, but you got to see what she was saying. And it was basically the same thing. So this is out there. Get out of here before something weird comes on. It's done that before. All right. So this is not because then they'll start talking about, oh, I'm going to tell you this. Different. So this is in the Google Drive. Got the Lord's Prayer, prayers for starting a meeting, a child's prayer, and then there's Desiray and Big Fish, and then the Mvskoke language prayers. And I think we've already gone through that, which is encouraging for those of us who are learning the language. Don't stop. You have to pause, just keep going, and keep trying to speak, even if it's just a couple of words like iva, dog, or posi, cat, or wagabiji, milk. It's like my grandbaby, she goes, wagabiji oblani. That means chocolate milk. Oblani is just brown milk. And I had to ask one of Mvhayv, how do you say chocolate? She says, there's no word for chocolate. Well, how do I tell a 3-year-old? So she would know. So she told me wagabiji oblani brown milk. So my grandbaby comes over and says, wagabiji oblani, and I'll run over there and get her chocolate milk. But just, as long as you're saying, words and just practicing and trying, and then even if you don't even say the word, say the sentence. Ah, chi, ich, e. Just practice those. Repetition, you're going to get used to it, and you'll start hearing some of your friends or some of your family who speaks Mvskoke language, and you're like, wait, that sounds a little off, and you're like, you don't want to tell them that they're off, but you just learned it a different way, and Some people know the words, but they don't have the emphasis on the sounds. You know, one of the pet peeves I know, one of the highest talks about Fujo for duck. Fujo, Fujo, Fujo. So you can hear the difference. And she's like, sometimes she'll hear that, she'll just like, Fujo. But I remember her going over that in class, but Fujo, Fujo. So it's got the oo sound, B, U, G, O. Fujo, Fujo, Fujo. You know, you got your emphasis different. So yes, it looks like, you know, Fujo or Fujo, but it's Fujo, Fujo. And that's one of the things I'm trying to teach when we learn things in here is to hear that difference of little tones that make it sound like, you know, more how our ancestors spoke than how we learned, you know, just trying. And I'm getting there and I can tell the difference when I'm saying words. So I know you guys will start hearing your differences when you say it in your practice. All right, did anybody want to hear any of these other ones? That's fair. That's fair. All right. So now that we got it working, it was not happy Monday or Wednesday.
Hubui dagoji Mvskoke. No jahane endaget wakayof. Mvskoke hisagidamisi amboya fikcha amajayijas. A jahonaji gomongin jalibat. Mvskoke hisagidamisi amboya fikcha sayibas. Amen.
That's a simple one you can teach your grandchildren, your children, and they'll be learning. They'll be learning Mvskoke. Like I said, my grandbaby, she learns. She's really good. She'll, but I haven't talked to her. I've been so busy, I haven't talked to her all the time. And she's kind of, if you don't speak it, she's kind of like reverted back. And I was like, I asked her, I'm like, how old are you now? And I said, are you 3 or 4? She goes, I'm 4. And then she goes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here I am in the front. I'm getting Hogolan, Dochine, Osten. She just smiled because she knew what I was thinking. I'm just trying to get her to speaking Mvskoke again. But like I said, I've been so busy back and forth, I haven't got time. And we try to FaceTime and she'll stand there and look at it and she'll take off running and she'll run away. So you know how kids are. But this is down here on the Google Drive. This is one of the things that we're trying to share with you guys so you guys will know. I don't know how many of you guys been to the new Facebook. All right, so they're getting that set up. Huh? What? There's a new Facebook. Yeah, I brought that up. Let's see if I can get on there. I'm not sure if it'll let me get on there. But they're moving everything over to a new Facebook, so it's not under a person. That was last week. Is it, you mean the language is, or there's a whole new Facebook? Whole new Facebook. There it is. Oh, this is the whole new Facebook. Okay, see, now it doesn't have Brandon Barnett up here. This is his page. So this is our new Facebook. Because it says Mvskoke language program instead of it was pre-broken on. So now it's Mvskoke language. So we're gonna have to update all of our little cards now. We're, like I said, we're doing a lot of things with our language department right now. We're working on a website where all of this is on there. Oh, this is one thing I was going to show you guys. I'm not familiar with a lot of these little doodads on here, but I found this. I was just playing with it. Here. So this was on the new Facebook. I thought I'd show you guys so you guys can see that. And let's see, here's the classes. Google Drive for Zoom lessons. Let's go to another Facebook page. I think that's the old one. So they still have videos here. I think they're trying to transfer all of them to the new Facebook. There's some people. Ah, no, just don't forget to get you a new calendar. Okay. But this is on the new Facebook. And I'm not sure what Linktree is, but I just happened to click on there. I thought I'd show you guys. And for those of you who didn't see, there was a new memo that came out. Memorize courses. That's like a game. See if I can get on there. I think you might have to sign in and everything, but this is a new game out there. So this is all the new stuff that they have. And like I said, I think I would have to log in and to play, so I'm not logged. This is new to me, but we did play it one time in one of the classes that Eli was talking. So this is all out there. These are new resources for you guys. Huh? I have that. Do you? Okay. So these are all of the courses and all the little games that they have on here. That's new. And it came from, like I was showing the class, this is the new Facebook right here. And it's Mvskoke, it's Facebook/Mvskoke language. That's the new Facebook. So, I can put some links on there when I get a chance. In my Google Drive, so you guys can see the links for the new Facebook. They're working on the website right now. We're editing it, so all this stuff should be on there. And whenever that comes live, I will forward that to you guys so you can see it. But this is all the stuff that they're doing to try to capture everybody for language and make it easier. And like I said, sometimes learning when you're playing games makes it fun. All right. Has everybody got this one? Does everybody see Mvskoke language? I think that's what it was. Mvskoke language. That's the new one. It's Mvskoke language.
Right, you said that I was actually looking at a different one.
Yeah, that's
So many.
there was someone like the previous manager was there. So yeah, this is the current one right here. It looks like that Mvskoke, but it says Mvskoke language over here on the address. Right, and like I said, you go to this Facebook, and right here is where I got to that link. It's Linktree. Okay, so this is all new to me, so don't ask me questions about that, but it's right there. All right. Okay, so that's cool. Get to show you guys, and I seen this. That if you go to this from that link, there's where you got all those courses. This is new links. And Google Drive for Zoom classes. And then the Mvskoke open another Facebook page, that's the old page. So if you guys find a video or something, and the video I just played was from the old page. And then the Friday. So that's all out there, and that's new. Thank you for the papers. Let's go ahead and start going over these. I know it sounds dry and it's really, sometimes it's like, but showing it and seeing it, you're gonna start understanding. And I'll stop about halfway through and then I'll turn it over to you guys. Anybody who made any sentences and you can share that. All right, so this is present tense negation, third person. Rules for present tense negation for Mvhayv to eat. No L grading. Remember, L grading was in module 1 because we lengthened it. We had some rules for L grading. So no L grading in this one. You drop your ETV, you get the verb stem, add your person marker, which in third person, there's no person marker. That's why I put this little symbol right there to signify that that would be a person marker. And this is just my placeholder in my notes that I have made. And when you do that, it'll help you to remember, add the person. Add the negation code or eco. Add your subject marker P. Add your auxiliary verb os, am, are, is. You've got Mvhayv to eat. And this is the same thing, but it's just showing you, how to conjugate. So you drop your ETB, get your verbs in. You add your person marker, which for third person is no person marker. Remember, it means she, he, they, or it. Then you add your negation. Like I said, there's my place marker, so I know I didn't miss a step. And your negation in this case is the ego, because P is not a vowel. So we go ahead and add the E table. And then you add your subject marker here, and you add an auxiliary verb, os, and are is. So the ending of that would be right here. I dropped this place marker, so it's not here. So only os. And I broke it down, only os. So it makes it easier on your paper that I broke it down. Did that help me breaking it down? You guys can sound it out a little easier now. Okay. Only os. And like I said on Monday and Wednesday, is it can be only dos. You can see some people put the T right here in front of the os. And so you will see it, you can see it either way. But it means the same thing. It says eating, she, he, they, it, not are. That's the literal translation. English translation is they are not eating. You can put she is not eating, he is not eating. I chose they. So that's why that is they right here. You can say she is not eating, he is not eating, they are not eating, it is not eating. And I don't want to call anybody it, so I would think you're talking about a dog or a cat or something, it's not eating. All right, because we were talking about, you don't really call a person it. Okay, let me say, the majority of us don't call a person it. All right. So, and then, like I said, then we're going to, okay, well, it should be Mvhayv, I think. Yeah, Mvhayv. Right here. Yeah, I've not noticed. That's supposed to be Mvhayv. Is to cook. Well, sometimes, sometimes you're typing and it changes. Yeah, spell check changes it. So I have to be careful on some of these things. So no L grading, you drop your ETB, you add your person marker, which like again, third person, no marker. Add your negation, full or ego. Add your subject marker T. Add your auxiliary verb, os, and are, is. But here is the word that you're supposed to be seeing. Mvhayv. Mvhayv, you drop the ETB verb stem. Add your person marker, which third person is nothing. That's why, I've got the placeholder right there. And that means she, he, they, it. Add your negation, so ego. And then you add your subject marker P right there. Add os. So now you're going from to cook right here. So it's to cook, Mvhayv to cook, to Mvhayv os, Mvhayv os. You need to see it broken down. Mvhayv os. And that could also be Mvhayv dos. So cooking, she, he, they, it, not are. He is not cooking. Because she is not cooking, they are not cooking, it is not. Is that starting to sink in? Does that help? Just doing it step by step by step. And like I said, I present a lot of the same thing because it'll help you remember all the steps that we need to take. So go to page 3, I think 3, 4. They've been having questions on these. Is that making sense? So Aqua Canada, and like you said, the app has the B instead of an A. There's sometimes different ways to spell things depending on how you learn, and sometimes it does start with a B. Like this is how I do it. So that's how I'm sharing it with Aqua Canada to play. And like I said, I think in the app on the phone it has a B. So there's no L grading. You drop an ETB. Add your person marker, which is person marker. You add your negation full or equal. Add your subject marker T. You add your auxiliary verb os. Uncle Canada to play. Verb stem, person marker, which is nothing. Negation, you add your T for the subject marker, and you add your voice, auxiliary verb. Mvskoke is Uncle Fun and voice. And then you can go look at the syllables. Uncle Fun voice. Right. Or it could be Uncle Funny dos. And the literal translation is playing, he not is, and he is not playing. Like I said, it could be she, they, it are not playing. So that's a placeholder for all of these things that you can make, the third person. She, they, or it. May go over a couple more, and then I will see if anybody has any sentences or if anybody has any questions. Third person negation, no judge. Now you don't have to get all upset. If you don't have a sentence, that's fine. Just saying, those of you who do, just I'll give you time to share it. So no judge to sleep. No L grading. You drop the ETB, get the verb stem. No person marker, you add a person marker. For third person, no person marker. Add your negation, full or equal. Add your subject marker P. Add your auxiliary verb os, am, are, is. No judam to sleep. Verb stem, person marker, negation. Add your T for the subject marker. Os is auxiliary verb. Am, are, is. And then no judam. Os. No cheating cold. Os. All right. So sleeping, it not is, it is not sleeping. Okay.
So sometimes I speak fast, and sometimes I speak it too fast. I need to slow it down. Maybe if I'm gonna have an period.
You just slow it down, just a little pause, and start going again. I know one of the things that the speakers tell me is, because I go fast, and sometimes I just get so excited, I just go really fast, and I have to slow it down so you can hear the spice of the language, the tones and inflections of everything. But yeah, if you just take a little pause and then say the rest of what you're saying. But it all takes practice, and I thought this might help those of us who are still learning. Break it down. I mean, to me, if you look at that and you're like, oh my God, I gotta say that, so break it down. And if you need to, anything, any Mvskoke word or any Mvskoke sentence, you can break it down. Sound it out. We've done the 2-letter, the 3-letter syllables. We know our alphabet, our Mvskoke sounds. And just like those of us who work up in the nation, sometimes we've got to go back to the alphabet because the and they're similar. And you're like, wait. And then sometimes even some of the speakers don't mind to go back to English. And we're like, wait, that didn't sound right. And then we're like, oh, okay, you say I instead of A, So just little things like that. It's not, everybody makes mistakes. All right, so as you see, the boxes are back there. Feel free to go back there and grab your one. And then I will continue to teach.
Yeah.
All right, present tense negation, third person for the word no. Yeah. Like that looks familiar. Well, I teach this Monday and Wednesday, and sometimes I'm like, did I already go with it? So you cover that to walk. Drop your ETB, you get the verb, add your person marker, which is for the third person right here, no person marker. Add your negation, full or equal. And then you add your subject marker T, add your auxiliary verb, os, and is.
I can do it.
So you cover it up. To walk. You got your verb stem because you dropped your ETB. And add your person marker. Since third person doesn't have a marker, that's why it's got the open and close parentheses. That's your placeholder. Equal is the negation because P is not a value. Add an EKO. As your subject marker right here, key, you add your auxiliary word, os. Let's go here. Os. Os. Just put it all together, you have a os. Or you have a dos. Walking, he, they, it, not is, he is not walking. All right, so this one, I'm going to stop and pause and see if anybody has any sentences that they want to share. All right, does anybody have any sentences they want to share? Okay, go ahead, give it a go.
Opponents equal boss.
Okay, that's a good job. You know, like I said, we're all trying, as long as you try, I don't have a problem, you know, sometimes we gotta back up, go forward. Good job, good job. All right,
Well, but I didn't write it down. I didn't write it down.
okay, well, can you say it? Do you?
What's for nothing? Because yeah, that was it. I didn't write it down.
Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, tell everybody what that one is. Is that?
Do you see the letter?
Okay, so I know some of those words are not in our vocabulary, so,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so, you know, you can use a word that's not in, that we haven't covered, just, you know, explain to us. I knew what you said, but, you know, we haven't gone over this one, and we did cover Lusky, but.
I also was in there with some of that.
Was it?
Or was it third? Yeah.
We did this one, did we?
We did last week, so yeah.
I do, and then I watch Mvhayv Barnett, and I watch Mvhayv Eli, so I'm like, but no, you guys are doing awesome. Okay, anybody else?
Oh, my, just when I was.
Here, we'll just say one that we learned.
Something
Diet.
So
Yeah, okay.
We get facts.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's from Mvhayv Barnett's class, I remember. And then she goes, it's don't go on to Hayade Gaga. I mean, how are we all doing? To Hayade Gaga is like one person. And then to Hayade Gaga for everybody. So these are things that I'm learning as well, watching her class. You know, one person is a different word, two people, completely different words sometimes, after three or more, you know, and they don't even look similar. So these are some of the things that I'm learning as well. Does anybody else have any? Okay, go ahead, Chris.
home base.
Okay, I am eating. All right, can you do humba or I am not eating?
No.
Okay. So basically, let's see. It says home people hosts. Because remember, the red is the verb stem, so you got your verb stem, HOMP. Home people hosts. Yeah, see, you guys are doing awesome. Go ahead.
Okay, this is one of those that you gave us in the printout. Maybe it's like a new, like a different audience.
Oh, awesome. Does everybody remember that one? Because some people IS.
I'm not sure.
And can you go to church? I am to church. IS. I am going, and then maybe some
Yeah.
awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys are learning. It's making me feel good because I'm like, teach you. But like I said, I'm still learning, so sometimes I'll just get stumped and I'm like, okay. You know, so we're all learning, so that makes me feel good that, you know, you guys are understanding, you know, that it's structured. Did you have one?
I tried to come up with one just now, but it's not a verb. I don't know if I said it. Working? No, such, so,
All right, I might not say it, I get like, I'm not eating bread. So that is good. That's good. You got it. Like I said, our pronunciations will come. You know, just if you need to break it down. Like right here. Acopanicotos. Acopanicotos. You know, you're going to start slow and you're going to sound choppy, but that's okay because if you keep saying these things, it'll come. You know, if you hear people in other languages speaking English and they sound choppy, you come and see them, you know, sometimes months, sometimes, you know, a couple of weeks, and they sound smoother because they're practicing. You're in English and you practice every day, but with the Mvskoke, just keep practicing, keep trying, break it down. Like, I remember coming home one day and I was looking at these things that we were learning, and I was like, there's no way I can say this word right there. Now I can say it, so that it's coming. Break it down. And don't let your mind freak you out, because sometimes your mind be like, I'm done. I can't do it. I'm done. I said, yeah. Like I said, I've been there. I know what you guys are feeling. You're like, oh my gosh, I understand, but I don't. I remember what you said, but then I don't. And then you're like, then your mind's like, okay, I'm done. I used to come almost every day and talk to my husband, like, I have no idea what I just read. No idea what I just sat in class for. And then like, I can't do this, I can't do this. And my mind saying, I can't do this. And I'm done. Then we sit there and like, and then after we ate, after you relax, after you sit down and take 5, like you're saying, just come back and you're like, oh, it makes sense, because your mind's just like, and then you come back and you revisit everything and it clicks and it comes back together. And that's what I'm trying to do for us, is to get all of these pieces going, all of the vocabulary, all of the conjugations, so we can know what people are saying. So now you guys can look at this, acopanicotos, and you can see that it's not the first person, because that would be a be. Not the second person, because there would be its. But since it doesn't have that, it's the third person. Does that make sense? All right. Okay, you guys are doing awesome. So, like I said, I present one way, I present another way. This is the same rules, just presenting in a different way. Go ahead. Did you have a question?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, you know what we're learning, we're just keep practicing, keep looking at it in a different way. Acopana to play. You drop the verb stem. You drop the ETV to get your verb stem. And I like this way too, because it's got the colors, it's got these little arrows. There's no L grading. So you've got your verb stem and you add your person marker. There's no person marker on their person. And then you put your placeholder and you bring it down, and then you add the next step is go or ego. This one is ego. Why is it ego instead of go?
Because you said A instead of A vowel.
Correct. You guys hear that? This right here is an N. So we can add the vowel, ego. If it was a V, you couldn't add a V and E because that's 2 vowels together. Then that would create a diphthong. We don't do that. So the reason why we add an ego is because that is not a vowel, that's N. All right, awesome, good job. I know that sometimes you're like, yeah, but when you stop and think about it, you're like, hey, why did you do that? Because I know, like I said, these are all the questions I had too. I'm like, what did you do? And then you add your subject marker, which is the T. You add the auxiliary verb, And this is the breakdown right here, Uncle Fun, the verb stem, no person marker, that's why that placeholder is there. Your negation equal right there is the purple. The T is the subject marker, and the old MR is. So verb stem, Uncle Fun, no person marker equal is the negation. T is the subject, and os is the auxiliary verb. Uncle Fun equals os. He is not playing. So if I didn't want to say he is not playing, what else could I put in place of he? She is not playing. They. It. Yes. So instead of he, it could be she, they, it. All right. Looks like you guys got it. Looks like you guys are doing really awesome. He said, I had to go through all of this and just, it was hours and hours because in the class, I was the oldest. You got all these young 20-year-olds, sometimes 18, 19-year-olds. I didn't want to be that one student who didn't know the heck, was going on. So I didn't want them to say, she's the older one. She's not going to get this, because the thing is the teacher would call us up to the board, say, okay, we're going to do Mvhayv. So Desiray, why don't you conjugate Mvhayv? So we couldn't take our notes. We had to remember this stuff. And I didn't want to be the one up there is like, I didn't want to be that one student. Oh, she's the older one. She can't remember. So my husband would see me at the table. He's like, what are you doing? You've been sitting there. I'm conjugating every single one of them. In case she calls me. My muscle memory, writing, and then thinking about every step, putting the placeholders in, to make sure that I wasn't that one student who didn't know what the heck was going on. Because I didn't want to say, oh, you always hear it, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, stuff like that. I didn't want to hear it. So I was like, I'm not going to be that one. So thank goodness I wasn't that one. But like I said, I would have to just start my notes. Do it step by step. Like I said, everything that I'm showing you, I've already gone through and been through, and this is the labor of love. Sharing that with you. All right, Mvhayv. Drop the ETB, get your verb stem. No L grading. You add your person marker, which again is no person marker. It's just a placeholder. The next one is add your negation code or equal. Add your subject marker. You add your os. You got home, verb stem, person marker, negation is purple, the T is a subject marker, and os is MR is Mvhayv os. It is not easy. All right. So what I can do it again. So if I wasn't going to put it, what could I put in place of it? They, it, she. Because remember, there's no person marker. So up here, it could be she, he, they, or it. So this one spot could be he, she, they, or it right here. So I just showed it is not eating. It could be she is not eating, they are not eating, it is not eating. All right. I know seeing this every time I, show you guys, you're like, oh, I got it. And then you stop and like, wait, why is it an equal instead of call? Why is it a she instead of a he? These are, that is something you guys could use whenever you're making your sentences or whenever you're talking. You have a cat over there. It is not eating. Or you can even talk about somebody. She's not eating. In God. Yeah. All right. So, Desiray. Desiray to sleep. Desiray. This is no jira. No jira, to sleep. That was my word in college. So she assigned you a word and you would have to remember that word. So whenever she called you up to the board, she said, okay, Desiree, come to the board, this is my word. So I would have to conjugate it, whatever we were conjugating at that time, I would have to conjugate that. And sometimes she would throw you and say, okay, let's, Desiree, do keep it up. I got used to, no paging that class, but I'm not gonna make you guys come up here and write anything. Because I know sometimes when she called my name, I'm like, I just forgot my name. Was it stage fright, I guess? That's right, come on. Okay. Okay, that's sleep. All right. So what's the first step? Anybody? Is that what you get? All right, there's no upgrade. Then the next step. Add your person marker. Why do we not have a person marker right here? Third person, right? And the next step is right here. Okay. What you add your negation, which is go or ego. Why did we go with EKO? Everybody's going to Philip. Why did constant? Right, constant. Yeah. Right, because that's why we added EK. But you were right as well. I mean, there was two right answers. It's negation and it's a constant. All right, and then what's the next step? And then the next step. All right. So now you got your verb stem most. You've got your person marker, which was nothing. You add your O, which is the negation. What is the T? Subject marker. Okay, and what is the O? Auxiliary verb. All right. So no close. She is not sleeping. If I wasn't talking about she, what could I add there instead of she? Okay. Yes. All right. Good job. These are starting to, looks like you guys are starting to get everything that that's out there for negation present tense. So Mvhayv to cook, and I translated it Mvhayv. Literal English cooking, he not his, he is not cooking. The object verb, these are the object verb sentences. So Mvhayv he is not cooking great dumplings. You guys remember Mvhayv? And then he is not cooking fried bread. Chris is cooking fried bread. Chris is cooking fried bread. That's why he's not cooking. She's cooking. All right. So Mvhayv you remember when we went over to Mvhayv, wild onions. And Tafumbi is onions. So yeah. Yeah, funny story. I was on break and I was walking around and I call my daughter sometimes in the middle of the day just to make sure she's doing okay. She's a college student. Like I was talking to her, and everybody has their pet names. Well, we were talking and she called me the pet name. She called me. I'm like, I tell you. And then I was walking into the office and I said, okay, bye, Funky. And I hung up and I was like, whoa. Go be sleepers everywhere. They all just got at me. What's my daughter? Talk to my daughter. Her pet name. That's one of her pet names. But I forgot. And then sometimes I'll be walking around Oklahoma, and sometimes one of my family members are there, and they know some of these things. I'm like, okay, go on, go over there. Go get the duck lady. They're like, And then I was like, everybody just knows, I mean, a lot of people, not everybody, knew what I said. They go on, little butt, go over there and get me bread. And it's just little things, but I forget, back in Oklahoma, because we've been abroad for so many years. I could say this stuff in the commissary or in the store and nobody would know. And now it's like, oh, I got to be careful what I say. Come on, little butt, go over there and get me some bread. Actually, so, it's just, yeah, you're right. I agree. Now that everybody knows our little secret language, so, that was, like I said, those are just little things that, I say some of these things, and even my non-native friends, they know, oh, I gotta go chukaji. So you're in a restaurant, you're like, you gotta go chukaji. And you're like, okay. And then what's funny is when they're speaking it, because they hear me talking, and I was like, oh, wow, you said that pretty good. You're not even here. Tiny. All right. Nikki, not taking for she is not cooking for him. All right, these are simple sentences that we can be making with our vocabulary. And next week, if I can have you guys try a different sentence, just write one down and try to do, I'm not doing something, I'm not cooking, I'm not, she's not cooking, or anything. You can even do first, second, or third person, whatever you want to do.
I feel like I erased I am.
We can, next week, we can go back over I am, and then we can go back to I am not doing something. And like I said, I'd like to go back and refresh our memory, because sometimes you just have to do that, because you don't want to forget, and we still want to do it and use the Mvskoke language. All right. And if you guys need to, we can also go back and do the sounds. If that would help you guys go far again, sometimes you need that refreshing to do the sound. We can do that the next class. If we have time, we can do it this class, but the sounds. We can do whatever you guys would like, because you guys have gotten that I'm not doing something that's down really good right now. It's whatever you guys think you need to refresh on, just let me know. We can go over it. But we can do the 2-letter, 3-letter syllable sounds, and then the Mvskoke sounds as well. And I am doing something. Look, we are doing it. We can go back to I'm not doing it. But if you see right here, I made it a little easier for us by doing a template. Third person template, you put your infinitive verb here, and it's going to be doing something. I'm, to run, to eat, to sleep, to cook. Put your infinitive verb here, put what your infinitive means, and then it goes back here and goes your infinitive verb, and you can take that part out because it's not always be to sleep. I keep changing things because I do a little fat fingering, my fingers like so you put your infinitive here, and then you drop your ETB, and it shows you step by step what you need to do for I am not doing something presently. Get your verb stem, L rating, your person marker, and this one is it does have third person right there. So if you guys get your papers mixed up, you know that this is third person. This goes with your third person steps. And then you've got your, and I put the in parentheses because it can be Pico or Co. But you determine if it's going to be E there or not E by what is following right here. So why would we not use an E? Why would you only use Co right here? If it's another vowel. It's another vowel, yes. And then add your subject marker. Add your auxiliary verb, and then you will have your breakdown of what infinitive that you are trying to conjugate. And then you put right there, and then you are not whatever it is. You can even go a step further, and I didn't do it, but you can put in parentheses to break down the syllables. to help you say your word, whatever it is that you're conjugating. Is that helpful? Does that look like it's gonna work for everybody? If you guys see, like I said, if any of you guys ever go through my notes and you see something like this that needs to be changed, just let me know, and I will change it. I'm doing so many templates and trying to, put all these notes. Sometimes words get thrown in there that shouldn't be in it. Does that look like it's gonna be helpful for everyone? This is also on the Google Drive if you guys misplaced it or anything. And let's see. Here we go. What's our new? Well, our words, I know we went over them before, but I made them look pretty. I know a lot of natives are visual. And this, sometimes just putting color or putting pictures with everything, they help. I know it helped me when I was doing it. So you got that printed out. And I will go over them. I'll say it and then you guys say it. Okay? Say, okay. Hona, dress. Yokokira. Church. Kava. Coat. Alipega. Pants. Istini gloves. Karapoga. Hat. Tapotica. Boots. Estelevega. Shoes. Tapochechka. Socks. So when I get belt. That's one of the things that when I was having the speaker say this, we had a conversation. I guess this one, belts, they've never seen it spelled that way. But that's how I learned it when I was learning clothes. So when I went to the Pan Museum, I was trying to use my vocabulary words. Like I tell you guys, I play these little games with myself so I can remember. And it makes it fun. So I was walking by and I was like, I know that word. So I said, when I get it for the belt, and it was this belt. It was one of these belts. So, and I always like to put our native images on everything I do because that's who I'm trying to reach is our native people. So why would I put something that's not native up here? To me, that's common sense, but so that's why you see a lot of the native pictures on there. If anybody knows how to make these, you gotta teach me. These are pants, ribbon pants. I've seen a couple of people wear them. It's like one of these days, I'll have some ribbon pants. But that to me is awesome. But these are just, some of our native things. And they might, I know this one isn't Creek or Seminole or Mvskoke, but it's still native. I think we lived in an area where we didn't need gloves. So, you don't see any gloves, you see moccasins and stuff. And then I remember seeing about 50s and then the ribbon shirts and the dresses and then the hats. And then I think this is really cool, the ribbon pants. And I've only seen that once. She was wearing it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. All right, so let me play this and you can hear the speaker speaking.
Honna. Yukofkira. Kaaba. Harikpega. Stingi hodi. Kadaboga. Sutika. Istilibega. Sahujatska. Siwanagira.
That Siwanagira. I was even a kid. So when they were talking about that Siwanagira, you can tell, the difference in, when we're learning. That part was taught Siwanagira. But we were talking about that, and when I was taught that, the instructor was trying to, the Mvhayv was trying to use all of the syllables. But when she said it, it sounded so rich. All I could think of was chocolate. She sounded chocolate, ooh, the rich chocolate, But that's why I put this on there for our speakers to speak it, because now you can hear, okay, yeah, we know how to pronounce it, but she has that, the ingredient and all the tones and all of the different, pitches in her voice when she says it. And that's where we're trying to get to. Right now, I'm kind of at the Kansuka area. I'm on to get to the I'm a chef of words now, But this is out there on the Google Drive. So we can, whenever you get a chance, just go on there and start listening. You can also do like I do is sometimes I put it on my phone, it records, and when I'm driving, I just drive and speak some of these things and just, I can't do it too long because then I'll just start getting out like, where did I just pass my head? I was concentrating on what I was trying to say. Just be careful when you're driving and trying to speak and learn. No, I don't want you guys to blame me for something. I'm just telling you what I do. I put it on my phone and I listen to some of these things and just speak it. You're cleaning house, put it on, just speak it. You can't go to sleep, just speak it. What's funny though is when you're learning a different language, and I don't know how many of you have this happen to, when you're learning a different language, and then all of a sudden you're streaming and then you have that language in your brain. How many? Nobody yet? You'll get there. And you'll get to the one part where it's like one word is stuck in your head. I remember, I took it with the speaker last week. Oh, Janwa was stuck in my head. Oh, Janwa. I know I should know this. Janwa. So I was walking around saying it, and I was telling my husband, like, this word is stuck in my head. Soft. Soft. So Janwa. Soft. And then you'll get something stuck in your head, and you're like, what does that mean? And then one of the things that I remember when we were learning animals before, Mvhayv. Does anybody know what Mvhayv is? Sheep. Yes. I liked it because it sounded so cool. Mvhayv. So, that one got stuck in my head. And I had to, I stopped for a little bit and remember what it meant. But some of these words will get stuck in your head, which is good. Just say it. And that's another word in your toolbox of Mvskoke. I know that word. Sit down and, have a meal. Oh, Chunwa, and have somebody pass you the salt. Pomoji is pepper. Pomoji. It's just little things like this that help us remember the language and help us to speak the language. Like I said, I like to play little games with my that Say it again. What did you say? You didn't blame me anyway. Oh, she blamed me. Oh, I never do that. You're not gonna do that. I remember my mom would say that. Yeah. So yeah, some of these words stick with you. Just say it, just remember it, and then just put it in your pocket of words of Mvskoke. And once you start doing that, you're going to start having dreams with Mvskoke. And even if it's just a couple of words, it'll start coming into your dreams. When I was learning French, I had gotten to the point where I was speaking French in my dream, and I was having to translate French to English in my dream to know what they were saying. It was just really cool. So you guys will get there. It might start as one word or even a sentence. Home base. I'm hungry, or I'm eating. Home base. I'm eating. Something like that. It will start creeping into your dreams, and everything. You're gonna keep trying to get immersed. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any comments or anything or any suggestions? How do you say roots? Roots. So we need that. Here, let me play that for you again. Like I said, she's got a smooth sound that we're trying to get, and I like. There's some people with certain words that like to try to get because they sound so good, and it's like all I can think of is when I think about our Mvskoke language, I think of like Christmas or Easter when they show those pouring chocolate, and that's just what in the commercials they're pouring chocolate. Get an Easter bunny chocolate, get a for Christmas Santa Claus chocolate. That's what I think of when I think of our Mvskoke words and how rich it's gonna be. Let me go ahead and let it again for you.
Hona. Yukof kira. Kaaba. Harik pega. Stingi hori. Kadaboga. Sutika. Istilibega. Sahujatska. Siwanagira.
That's for the yellow. That was for Siwanaga, that was. Okay, this is Chuck Maxwell, trying to learn as much as I can, to get better speakers for this. You will need to get better speakers for this song. All right. Now that's one of the things, when I try to post all this, I try to, whenever you get good speakers, you're gonna be able to hear the richness of our speakers, with all the PowerPoints that I've done there. All right, Madonna. So right now, it looks like we're all good to go, and I would say, Madame, did you get your coffee, please? Did you get your coffee, please? Means I will see all of you guys later. If you guys have any questions, in a couple of minutes after. Hello, you guys.
Look, that's gonna be my little free